When talking about Pompeii, the line between truth and legend is blurred. Hers is a story of sex, transgression, and tragedy. Pompeii was a city that had to die in order to reach immortality. Pompeii was a city that had to die in order to reach immortality.
Dig that? We're going to Vegas, Mike.
Vegas! You think we get there by midnight?
Money, we're gonna be up 500 by midnight.
Yeah! Vegas!
Vegas, baby! Vegas!
Be talking tonight about what we found on our trip to the Luxor Hotel in Las Vegas, Nevada. Driving across the desert of Nevada, approaching from the Boulder City Highway, looming off in the distance is an incredible sight. If you did not absolutely know where you were at, you would tend to believe that you were delirious and had somehow been transported to the desert of Egypt. Rising up above the city of Las Vegas is a black, reflecting, huge pyramid, easily as big as the Great Pyramid of Cheops in Egypt. On the top of this pyramid is a crystal capstone, or what appears or looks like crystal capstone, reflecting the sunlight in every direction. If you've ever looked at a polished piece of black obsidian volcanic glass, that might give you some idea of what the surface of this pyramid looks like. As you travel closer along the highway, you begin to see looming up in front of the pyramid an exact replica of the Sphinx. And in front of the Sphinx, towering approximately 150 feet in the air, the phallus of Osiris, an obelisk, for those of you who have not followed our series on the mysteries. And if you don't know what an obelisk is, I'm sure you're acquainted with the Washington Monument. The sight is absolutely awe-inspiring. The sheer size of this structure is overwhelming. It covers an area so large that driving around it, one begins to wonder how in the world this could have ever been built, much less built in the short period of time that it was, in fact, assembled. During the time that the Luxor Hotel was under construction, a huge fence surrounded the area. They had armed guards on patrol. No one was allowed to watch the construction or see what was going on, except that part which loomed above the fence. No visitors were allowed to watch the construction, and no press was given access. When we first drove to the Luxor, went around this huge, tremendous complex upon which this hotel sits, and then finally went across the street, parked the car, put our press passes on the front of our garments, got out with our video cameras. I looked directly across the street and was confronted with the head of Tutankhamun, who then promptly winked at me. Everything about this ninth wonder of the world, for it truly is, I can assure you, leaves one with a sense of awe, a sense of disbelief, overwhelming beauty. It is, in fact, beautiful beyond description. What I'm trying to do here is convey to you what I saw, and there are not words enough to do it. Now, if you've listened to our series on Mystery Babylon, you know that the Egyptian pyramids were never tombs. They were not burial places or crypts for the bodies of kings or queens or anyone else. They were temples, great temples of the mystery religion, and they functioned for the purpose of initiation. I can assure you that the Luxor Hotel in Las Vegas is a temple of initiation for the masses, the millions upon millions of people who visit that city each year.
Put like plaster or something over it.
It took just 18 hours for Pompeii to be buried under millions of tons of volcanic ash and pumice. An entire living city wiped out. Thousands of its people buried alive. The superheated air burns their lungs and melts their muscles. Their twisted and contorted bodies were quickly buried in ash. A team of scientists is now studying 15 bodies that were found together in the east of the city. The odd positions these bodies were found in intrigues team leader Lawrence Alapon.
It's very interesting how they found the bodies, because we find several groups together, 3 people together, 4 people together. It seems that they may be helping each other, and we want to know what's happened exactly with these people.
To do so, they're scanning the casts in more detail than ever before, taking high-resolution photographs and then x-rays of their bones locked inside.
We can see the teeth. We know the teeth. We can see about the diet. We can know the sex because we can see very well the morphology of the pelvis. We can know the age because for the growing of the bone.
One cast is particularly well preserved. Lawrence has already unlocked personal details of this man's life.
We know that he was between 25, 30 years old.
This young man also had a military sword, which leads Lawrence to think he was a soldier.
We want to know the last moment of this person, if he suffered or he was afraid, and all this we can see in this face.
The well-preserved sections of the cast are copied and then filled into other sections that are less detailed.
In this part, we can see the complete side of the cast. So we have to take the complete part for make what part is not complete or is missing.
The result is an image that is moving and strikingly lifelike of the young soldier who was buried 2,000 years ago.
When we see the face, we understand a lot of things immediately. The nose, the mouth, everything was people that from the south of Italy or the north of Africa. You give the human aspect, you will feel like that you are living the last moments of these people.
Jehovah said, because the cry of Sodom and Gomorrah is great, and because their sin is very grievous, I will go down now and see whether they have found. The cities of Sodom and Gomorrah were full of evil, licentiousness, rampant with murder, and indulgence in extravagant pleasures. They reached the point of clamoring against God, of fighting against him, and waging his disposition.
Where are the men which came into you this night? Bring them out to us, that we may know them.
After the angels took Lot and his family out of the city, burning sulfur rained down from the sky. The raging fire lit up the heavens.